Well, welcome back. It's Inside the Trenches. I'm your host, Marlon, Big Fave Favorite. And y'all at Small Sliders Live, baby. We turned up this Friday having ourselves a good time. It's festival season, baby. Like Mario made a good point earlier. He said, man, the Pels not in it no more. And it's football season. The draft's over. It's like, man, we're looking for some fun. But that's the beauty of being from New Orleans, baby, because it's festivals all the time here. Me, Million Bags, DJ Toon, we're making our way to Vacherie, Louisiana tomorrow to perform at the K. Levy's Legends Festival. Before we get into the festival talk, it has been one interesting week, not only in entertainment, but in sports. Now, locally here, Mario, you said that the Pels are going to make some changes here on their roster.
Yeah, a report came out a few minutes ago via Twitter. This is according to Mike A. Scotto, who works for Hoops Hype. He says that the Pelicans are not expected to re-sign Jonas Valančiūnas, and the rest of the tweet says that New Orleans will be prioritizing floor spacing around Zion Williamson this season. Valančiūnas becomes one of the best available bigs in unrestricted free agency. That is unfortunate. Like, I get the gist of that tweet. I understand certain matchups, Jonas can't be on the floor because you have to go small, but it's unfortunate because he feels like one of the most dependable pieces on this Pelicans team going back the last few years. I mean, this guy played all 82 games last year, Big Fave. That's rare in the NBA, especially for somebody who takes that much contact in Jonas Valančiūnas. So this isn't really surprising. His minutes fluctuated a lot towards the end of the season. But I think somebody, like that tweet says, is going to get a really good center. I mean, last thing I'll say is he's won on every team he's been on, whether it be Toronto, then Memphis at the beginning with John Morant, and now here the Pelicans have made 3 straight postseasons, which isn't that impressive on the surface, but for the Pelicans, that's something they have not done before. So I get it, but I'll miss Jonas for sure.
I will, and you thinking that the big part of it was financial, is just being able to afford them, and we understand that. Now, this happens a lot in football when we get rid of the veteran with the skill, with the knowledge that costs too much. We go to the draft or we go to free agency and look at a younger guy that may be available. Priorities for the Pels. I know for the Saints before the draft, first thing we were screaming was offensive lineman. Second thing we were screaming because of the Michael Thomas situation was wide receiver. And then a lot of people for that third slot was talking quarterback because they just didn't like the way the room was shaping. When you look at this Pelicans team, 3 areas of needs in the draft, what direction they go, or in free agency, both?
I think we've talked about it a little bit on the show before, too. Like, center, for sure. You're going to have a new starting center no matter what, if this Jonas Valančiūnas news holds true. I think you need another ball handler, whether or not it's somebody who's your starting point guard. I think you need somebody else who can create their own shot to take pressure off of Zion and McCollum and whoever else is here. And then the third need, I'll say, is to empower is the word I'm looking for, the younger players on the roster. Like Trey Murphy, if all this Brandon Ingram smoke is true, is going to be a starter next year. We know he's a good offensive player, but he needs to improve a little bit on defense if he's going to take that next step. And then Herb Jones, too. This is somebody who is a really good defender, one of the best in the league already, probably going to make first team all defense, but still coming into his own offensively a little bit. I think he needs a little bit more freedom offensively next year. And I think Herb, he improved his jump shot. You saw that. He's also getting better off the dribble. So you need to add to your team, but you also need to empower these guys a little more. And then guys on the end of the bench that didn't even play, you spent the first-round pick on Jordan Hawkins. He's an elite shooter even in his young age. You need to find a way to get him on the court next season. And him being a bad defender isn't a bad excuse. You as a coaching staff need to find a way to play him. And probably Matt Ryan as well, because shooting is important. So the Pelicans definitely need to go add to their team. They're probably going to make a big change in trading Brandon Ingram. But you need bigger roles for Murphy, for Herb Jones. And Hawkins, like I said, needs to be on the court next year.
I'm with you on that, Mario. I think it should start there. We should go at the players that we have are good now and make them into the next star. So however this roster shapes up, Herb Jones, Trey Murphy, Zion Williamson, and I think we look at 2 other spots. I mean, I know C.J. McCollum is a veteran on his team, and we still have Brandon Ingram. But when I look at areas of need and I look at different teams across the league, Oklahoma City have a point guard. Dallas was in search for a point guard, but now they got a point guard and Kyrie Irving. These 2 teams I just mentioned are still in the NBA playoffs. And I think that position at point guard is a very important piece to it.
For sure. And I think you could do it unconventional as well. Like Shai Gilgeous is a point guard by position, but not really a true point guard floor general like Chris Paul was, right? And obviously the Pelicans are trying to implement something similar with Zion. Denver has a lot of success with Nikola Jokic. But whether or not you do the point Zion thing, like I said, I think you need another ball handler. Like the ball got really sticky. You did not even score 95 points in those 4 games against Oklahoma City. Like the Pelicans offense kind of broken right now. And I think part of that is a personality. You just need more people that can create their own shot. And for what it's worth, I think they will trade Brandon Ingram, just if I had to predict today. And I don't think it's all his fault. I don't mean to make him the scapegoat, but I just think they want to do something a little bit different stylistically. Him and Zion, both not great shooters, both not defenders. So maybe just get somebody that fits better with Zion, empower the young players like we were just talking about, and build your team around him.
If you're just tuning in to Inside the Trenches, we're talking festivals here in the New Orleans area, but we're also talking about news around the league. Valančiūnas, it doesn't appear that the Pelicans are going to, well, they're not going to pick up his option, too expensive. So we're just kind of looking at what direction should this team take for the draft and the free agency. And I love the point that Mario made. He mentioned someone. We drafted Trey Murphy. We drafted Herb Jones out of Alabama in the second round. We brought in key pieces to this team. Herb, an all-defensive NBA player. Trey Murphy, when he's on fire, he's an elite shooter. Let's build around that, bring in a young team. We see young teams can go to a stretch. Look at OKC. That's a team that's going to stretch and has a very young team. Minnesota.
Yeah.
Minnesota's a young team.
Yeah.
Minnesota is a young team as well. Anthony Edwards is 22 years old. Mm-hmm. So these are the things that I look at when shaping up teams.
Yeah.
Now, Mario, I was asking you about the festivals. You mentioned to me once before that you enjoy being back here in the New Orleans area. You can enjoy the festivals. Everything's right there. What's one of your favorite festivals to attend?
Man, Jazz Fest is always a lot of fun. That was popping the other day. And I love Cinco de Mayo, obviously being Latin American heritage. But I kind of went bar hopping a little bit last Sunday. And I ended up at a really fun party over at Velvet Cactus. So I love when cultures blend together. You know, you have so much diversity here in New Orleans. So a lot of different festivals really highlight that. And I really enjoyed Jazz Fest. Really enjoyed Cinco de Mayo.
That's because one of our favorite dishes here, one of our best dishes here is gumbo. And gumbo is a mixed pot of action, right? You got sausage and gumbo, chicken, you got gumbo filet, you got you got the Holy Trinity, right? You got your celery, your bell peppers, your onions, and that's what New Orleans is. We are a mixed culture. Well, speaking of that, I want to get our listeners tuned up for this next segment. For our last segment, we will entertain y'all. It's Friday. We want y'all having a good time. So DJ Tune, we got Million Bags in the building. We're going to perform a couple of the songs off of our set for tomorrow's Legends Festival. The Legends Festival is going to be in Vacherie, Louisiana, right off of 3127. Y'all make sure it's free if y'all don't have anything to do. Y'all want to take y'all a little ride. If you live in the city, it's about a 30-minute ride right outside of New Orleans, surrounding areas. You're very close to it. But again, man, it's the Legends Fest. We'll be out there. You have guys like Stephen King performing. Kay Levy's going to shut it down. He's going to be the last performance. We got local celebrity Lil Reezy. He's going to be there doing this thing as well. And then next week, we'll talk about this on the show again next week. Hopefully, we'll get some of the acts for the Woodmill Fest. Small Sliders is legit. Small Sliders Marrero is about 5 minutes from the biggest subdivision in Louisiana, and that is Woodmill. That festival is look at my M's mixed up. May 18th, that's next Saturday. It's from 1 to 7. Hot Boy Ronald. Make it hot. Y'all know Hot Boy Ronald? Come on, make it hot. He's going to be there. You're going to have some brass bands in the building. It's for everybody, baby. Y'all make sure y'all make y'all way onto the Woodmill Fest. We got some more coming up on the schedule. We'll keep y'all posted for sure. But it's one of my favorite times of the year because even for the players, Mario, it's OTAs, it's organized team activities. It's the part where the teams are actually built, right? When we get to training camp, when those guys go to Cali for training camp, they're going to be out there with some fans. They're not going to know who they are. The people coming watching, they don't really know them. But when you're here in the city, you're getting to know the community, and you're starting to get to know the locker room. Is a good thing here for this time of the year.
Yeah, man. There's so much to do. You may as well take advantage of it. And whether you're an athlete or just a normal person, I think getting fresh air is a really good thing, right? There's a lot of studies to show that sunlight is good. So this time of year is prime time for that. So I would definitely get out and enjoy the festivals.
Definitely. See, I'll make sure I'll make y'all way out there. It's the Legends Fest tomorrow in Vacherie, Louisiana. K. Levy's second annual Legends Fest. Me and the boy Million Bags going to close out this show, do a live performance, do some of the stuff we do. But, I mean, we've had a great time here just talking about the NBA playoffs are heating up. It's getting close to the conference finals. Before you know it, we'll be in the NBA finals, enjoying such a good year. And then remember, May 15th, right here, that's this Wednesday, y'all make y'all way to Small Sliders Marrero. We're going to have the corn hole toss going on. Probably have a little dodgeball. DJ Tune will be out here. And look, it's important that y'all download the Small Sliders app. You can go to your Google Play in your Android phone, or you can go to your App Store in your Apple phone. Type in Small Sliders. The app will get to your location. The beautiful thing about the app is two things. You do get a free Small Sliders slider when you come show that app on the app. But like I told y'all, this place is different, right? They make your burger for you on the spot. So if you want to get your Small Sliders fresh and ready to go when you pull up, go ahead and put your order in on the Small Sliders app, baby. It's Inside the Trenches. We'll be right back. Me and the homie Million Bags, baby. It's DJ Tune, ESPN New Orleans.
Hello, somebody. Yeah, I'ma move my body. Yeah, I'ma be somebody. You never know when you gonna need somebody. Hello.